Now that was close. What a game, though. I mean, well, not what a game. For a neutral, not necessarily great, but from an England perspective, so much hurt at these competitions. We always flounder spectacularly. I think last time it was Uruguay in the first game we got beaten. It was horrible. Whereas this time it was. Do you know what? I'm going to go from the start. We're going to go from the start. So lineup. A few things I would maybe have done differently, but I know we've been in the warm-ups playing this way, but I think I'll probably get to that at the end. Sort of say what I would do with the team next time out. Start the game though, out the trap straight away. Great. We'll probably look like probably one of the better teams at the tournament. The first 15 minutes, I was like, right, okay, we're gonna hammer these. These are jobbers. Nothing more. They'll line up with Kazri up front, and he barely had a sniff all game. So we go 1-0 up. Harry Kane, corner comes in, brilliant save. John Stones, I think it was, with the header, brilliant save by the keeper out there. And Harry Kane's there, poaching away, boom, 1-0. In all the swimming. Then there was a curious refereeing decision. So the ball gets crossed in. I can't tell you the names of the Tunisian player, so just a Tunisian player. Ball gets crossed in, and Kyle Walker is facing away from the goal, which was suspect. I'm not a defender, but I would know that you don't face your goal, you face away from it if you defend it. And he swings his elbow a little bit. It was more like this, and the referee gives it. Surely a VAR review should have looked at that one, because it's soft, really soft. Personally, I could see why he's given it, but the guy milks it. He's never going to get the ball. Personally, I think it's probably not a foul. Certainly, if the referee didn't give it, I don't think VAR would have reversed that decision. So, for me, it wasn't a penalty. Anyway, they took away the penalty, and it was 1-1. But I was like, you know what, that's fine. We've been good. That's pretty much the first thing they've done all game. And then there was frustration. Real frustration, because the penalty decisions, well, the ones that we didn't get. I mean, the first one, Harry Kane, he gets pulled down in the box blatantly, and they've got this VAR watching it so they can tell the referee to pull it back, and the referee, he must get a word in his ear. Obviously didn't. Not given. We're all perplexed. We're all looking at like, how is it not given? He's been wrestled to the floor, literally hugged down. And then later on in the game, the exact same thing happens. Harry Kane in the box, and he's just arms around him. And it happened all game. They're just hugging them. I don't know, maybe if I'm more friendly with Tunisia than what we thought, maybe, because it seemed to me as though they desperately wanted to hug every single England player. Maybe I'm wrong, but to me, that's what it looked like. They were manhandled. I mean, the one on Harry Kane where he was basically speared at the floor. Like in rugby, that would have been wrong because he picked them up and chucked them down. So we should have had a couple of penalties. There were some sitters. God, there was some sitters missed. I mean, there was one where Raheem Sterling, luckily it was offside, but I tell you what, if he wasn't, that would have been probably missed at the tournament, because he's got an open net and he fires it wide. There was a few. Lingard could have had 3, easy enough. He just kept, his finishes were just not good enough. He hit one, ball came over the top, and he hit like a sideways volley and it went wide, and there was a few others. He hit the post, which the post one, he was a wee bit unlucky. I think maybe he could have tried to take a touch and get a penalty, but maybe that's the thing it is. So anyway, the game's petering down in the second half, and I think we're all, he brings on Rashford, and I think we're all, still didn't have a great game. Bring on Rashford, makes sense. Brought on Loftus-Cheek again. I think we're thinking, that's it. He came on, he looked all right. I mean, personally, what I've done, I'm not so sure, but he brought Loftus-Cheek on. Then, we're looking a bit more dangerous. There was a bit of a lack of direction once the second half started. It was very mundane football, very side-to-side, very typical England of 10 years ago, where there wasn't really much penetration, but we had a lot of the ball. And then the moment came. We're in +4. I think we're all thinking, standard. It's like Algeria. It's like Uruguay again. It's like all them games we can think of where England have told USA, where we drew 1-1 all them years ago. It's going to be one of them. And then just the man you want. He's not on corners this time. He's in the box, and he puts it in. He puts in a brilliant header. The ball gets played in, and it sort of fumbles around the box, and there's Harry Kane, that just the man you need. I mean, to be honest, I've not watched the highlights of the game because I was so excited when we scored. I cheered, so I've only got my first view, and just my view was Harry Kane sort of kind of falling back away from goal, just heading it into the net, and it was just perfect. England 2-1 up. We've got 3 minutes to play out, and to be honest, I was shocked that we were able to do it. Towards the end of the game, I think Eric Dyer came on just after the goal, maybe just before the goal. I think it was just after the goal to shore things up. And to be honest, there was no worries after that. Came through, 4 minutes, referee blows his whistle, we're safe. So, looking ahead of the group, Belgium obviously won 3-0 today. No surprises there. To be honest, they weren't that great. But, you know, the wore Panama down. I think Panama, a lot of spirit, first game of the World Cup. I think Belgium were a bit complacent. Kevin De Bruyne didn't have the greatest of games, amongst others. Lukaku got 2 goals but didn't do much else. But Belgium got the result we expected. I think England got the result that probably what was predicted. This was the game that really mattered. This was the deciding game for me. If we were going to go through, a draw probably wouldn't have been good enough. But now, you know, we've got 3 points. Panama coming up next. That should be another 3 points. Confidence builder game. And then we've got 6 points from there. Belgium beat Tunisia. It's done. We're through. So no dramas. It should just be nice. I mean, obviously, we've all watched football a million times before. It never goes as you predict. But for me, it just looks like they should make it through the knockouts. Now the key is to try and win the group, obviously. But the way that the tournament's been going with scores, it's hard to know. You know, teams have been dropping results. You know, Brazil dropped result. Germany got beat off Mexico. Look at the rest of the tournament. You know, Spain didn't beat Portugal. Not necessarily a shock, but not necessarily what we were expecting. France beat Australia, I think. I can't remember now. Did watch the game. Nobody's looked great though at the tournament. Argentina dropped points against Iceland as well. So nobody's looking great. The favourites aren't really taking the tournament by storm, which is interesting. As for the next game for England, I've devised how I would line them up. So I'll try and get it so it's not shining. So Pickford and nets, obviously. I'll keep the back three the same. I thought Kyle Walker had an absolute stinger of a game. Absolute stinky. Dropped Stinkies all over the pitch in the first half. I think that pretty penalty was absolutely horrendous. But he sticks in there because he got better. He got a bit more confidence. There was the ball he dealt with in the second half where he was just magnificent. When Tunisia were getting in down the side, so Walker stays in. Trippier and Young, impressed with them too as well. They played, you know, vital to the system. They played really, really well. I can see why he goes with them. Ashley Young, I think, 30-odd-year-old Man United, not necessarily great, but he works in the system. Trippier exactly the same. Midfield, Dele Alli did pick up it looked like he picked up a knock in the first half, but he should be alright. He played most of the game. Ali and Henderson. I thought Henderson sometimes looked to play backwards a little bit too much, but in general, very good game. Lots of good forward passes from him. Ali quiet, but he did pick up that knock early on. I think Tunisia did try and mark him out of the game. Then I would drop Sterling. I didn't think Sterling had the greatest game. It just looked to me as though everything he tried to do just didn't quite come off. So I think I'm going to drop Sterling, put in Rashford, put in Lingard on the other side and put Kane up front, because to be honest, today we didn't really sort of lined up with wingers, but we kind of didn't. And I think we'll be best off with Ali and Henderson in centre midfield. Rashford and Lingard is out and out wingers, and then Kane through the middle. Whereas today we kind of lined up with Sterling and Kane up front, and that I just didn't think it quite worked. So I think having Rashford can go up front, so you can kind of play that 5-3-2 like we sort of started with. But for me, I think it makes more sense to go with the 5. I suppose it's sort of like a 5-4-1, but with the wing backs. And Trippier and Young do such a good job of supporting the attack. Maguire, Stones and Walker do such a good job at the back. You know, Walker does push up, Stones does push up, and even Maguire does, but they make sure that only one does at a time. As for Kane, 2 goals, cannot knock it. Not necessarily his best game, but he scored 2. That's literally all we ask. You know, he scores goals. He did it. Scored 2 very important goals, 2 strikers instinct goals, 2 goals that'll give him big confidence. So, you know, looking ahead, it looks rosy for once. As supporting a team that actually looks good for. I mean, I'm not really going to summarise the other games because this is the one that we'll be waiting for. To be honest, because I work from home, so I've been watching all the games. To be honest, most of the games have been absolutely dog shite. This one today I enjoyed. I enjoyed the Brazil-Switzerland game the other day as well, but virtually every other game has been a bit of a drab affair. The Sweden game this afternoon was absolutely hopeless. Just a penalty decision settled that one. So yeah, that's sort of my review of the game. Just still fresh, straight on, full time, came up, recorded a video. And, you know, I probably got some things wrong, but I'm buzzing. Football's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming home. Yeah. England's going to win. Nah, they're not going to win the World Cup. England are going to get the quarterfinals, though. Mark my words. Quarterfinals. We're done.